Hello to all my stitchy friends. How is everybody doing? My name is Andrew and this is the Runner Stitcher. You've stumbled upon Flosstube number 12. This is my channel where I talk primarily about cross stitch. Sometimes I'll throw in a little bit about my running journey. Today I think it's all cross stitch. But if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you spending some time with me. Hopefully you've got a good project in hand and you can get some stitching done while we talk about all of my updates. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing and coming to the channel. You're very welcome here, and I'm happy to be sharing my journey of cross stitch along with you all. So I've got a lot to share with you today. There's a lot of things kind of going on, and I've got some cool things to share, so I really hope you enjoy this one. It might be a little bit shorter, but I hope you enjoy it, and I've got some fun stuff that I'm excited about. So I wanted to start off just with some housekeeping things. So last video I mentioned that I hit my 3,000 subscribers mark, which is, that's crazy, but I love it. So I did a giveaway. Actually, I did 4 giveaways last week. So I wanted to just start off the video sharing the winners. So let's go through the 4 items that we've got now. The first one was Angel of Summer. This was from Lavender and Lace, and there were 37 people that commented in for this one, and the winner of this pattern is Dawn Barney 2659. So Dawn, congratulations. And you can go ahead and send me an email at therunnerstitcher@gmail.com, and we'll get your address information and we'll get this sent off in the mail to you. So Dawn Barney 2659, congratulations. Angel of Summer is yours. The next item we had was 3 for Tea by Mirabilia. The keyword for this was tea, and there were 53 of you who put in for this one. And the winner of tea, 3 for Tea, is Multiple Lanes Creative Brain, which I love that screen name. That's awesome. But Multiple Lanes Creative Brain, you are the winner of 3 for Tea from Mirabilia. So again, send me an email, therunnerstitcher@gmail.com, and we'll get this off in the mail to you. Next up, the next giveaway was this fabric, which was Acid Goth 32 count linen from Starlight Alchemy. Acid was the keyword for this, and 44 of you put in for this fabric. The winner of this is Heather Ellis 13. So Heather Ellis, congratulations, you're the winner. Again, send me an email. I'll have all my information down below, but send me an email. We'll get this off in the mail to you. Thank you so much for entering, and congratulations. And the final giveaway we had was for the 1992 Santa from Prairie Schooler. This one had the most votes, or the most entries, with 59 people wanting this pattern. And the winner of this one is Forever Camellia. So Forever Camellia, congratulations, you are the winner, and go ahead and send me an email. We'll get this in the mail to you. Thank you so much. I just want to say thanks again for everybody who has subscribed to the channel. I'm so happy to do these giveaways because I feel like we're all friends here, and I love being able to kind of share the wealth of what the patterns I've accumulated and what I'm stitching and things. So yeah, I'm really happy to do this, and I love that we hit that milestone and could have a few more giveaways. So yeah, thanks again for that. Okay, switching gears, moving on to cross stitch now. So I've got some things that I haven't had in a while on this channel. Well, it feels like it's been a while, but so I actually have a finish this week. And if you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen this, but I finished my Chihuahua pattern. Look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. So this was from PuntAGopetitePattern. And again, I'm making this for my previous roommate. I'm still thinking of how I want to fully finish this. I would kind of like to learn how to put this into a pillow because I think this would be so cute on a pillow. So I'm still kind of thinking about all of that. But he is ironed, and yeah, he's ready to go. So I'll just zoom in here. You can see there is some back stitching on his legs that I had to finish. And yeah, He's so cute. I really love him. I love how much he turned out like Winston without it being like a custom pattern. Yeah, I'm just really happy with it. So this time I added 551 stitches, which put me at 100%, and it's now complete. So again, this was stitched on a 20 count from Stash. The fabric was called Kali, Kali. And yeah, really happy to have this completed. And we'll work at getting it fully finished somehow, and then off to my former roommate as a gift. So I was really happy to finish that. Okay, so that was my first finish. First means there's more coming. So my second finish was my Whip Go call for one of my Whip Go calls for April, which was, we just showed the pattern, the Prairie Schooler Santa 1992. So this pattern I started on April 1st for April's Whip Go, and I finished it on April 15th. So since I have seen you last, I've added 752 stitches, and that put me at the 100% mark. So not only did I finish this, but I FFO'd it as well. So I've got an FFO this week. I'll try not to get the glare going, but here is the Prairie Schooler Santa. And this is the frame that I chose for it. It's a nice wooden frame that I thought went really well, especially with the fabric. It's got like some brown speckles in the fabric. And yeah, so that's the completed piece. He's so cute. The lobster was a lot of fun to stitch. I think the last time I didn't have his head in here, and I had his body. So his beard here, which is showing up pretty well. It was called for Ecru was the color, and I started stitching it, and it was just blending in way too much with the fabric. So I pulled out B5200 from my stash and thought maybe I'll just use this. But when I held it up to the fabric, it was going to be way too white, too bright in contrast with everything else. So then my boyfriend was like, why don't you just do one strand of each? And I was like, oh, maybe I could do that. So his beard is actually a blend of B5200 and Ecru. And I love how it turned out. I think it's really good. I think it pops enough that you can see it on the fabric, but it's not too much. It's not like a stark contrast from everything else that's more kind of muted colors. So yeah, I was really happy about that. Glad he suggested that. Everything else is the called for DMC. This is an 18 count fabric. I think it was called Western cloth. It was an Ada that I had in stash. And yeah, I'm super happy. So here's the FFO. Pretty cute. Happy to have an FFO. I feel like it's been a while since I've had that. And so that was my first FFO, and first meaning there is a second FFO. So you guys saw this finish a while back, and I'm super happy to share today the frame that we picked out and got for it. And this weekend we were able to put it in, my boyfriend and I, and so here is the Odyssey Sal, framed and complete. Sorry about the glare. There we go, that's better. We found this frame at Marshall's at Home Goods, and I was like, do you think this is going to be too much for the piece, or do you think it's going to work? And he's like, I think it's going to work. So we brought it home, and I put everything in there, and I was like, I just love this. I think it looks so great. So this is the final piece. So I didn't put it up on the wall yet because I wanted to make sure I had it that I could share with you first. But eventually this will go up on the wall. And again, this is the Odyssey by Quaternion Creations. And this is my fully finished object, FFO. Now, it is not perfect. So my boyfriend and I are the ones who framed this, and it's not perfect. I think it's a little, sorry about the glare, but it's a little slanted in one direction, just a tiny bit. And there are still some wrinkles in the fabric that I wasn't able to get out. Maybe eventually I'll take it out and try again. It actually looks pretty good from what I'm seeing on camera. And I think we're always our biggest critic, right? So I think I see every little blemish in this piece, even though I love it and I think it looks great. I'm really proud of it. I still see every little tiny wrinkle or every little X that isn't quite fully an X. or just doesn't look as good as the other ones. So I'm always my worst critic, but it's okay if it's not perfect, right? I don't need it to be exactly perfect, and no stitch piece is probably going to be perfection. And yeah, I really like it. It was really hard to get into this frame, so I'm just happy I got it in there enough that it looks pretty good. Took a couple of tries to try to get this straight and to get the fabric in and wrapped around and everything. So, but yeah, I'm really happy. So that is my second FFO for this week. I hope you enjoyed as well. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to take a quick break just to regroup, put my FFOs away, and then I'll pull out my whips. So, be right back. Okay, thank you for letting me regroup. I'm ready to go again. So, those were my finishes and FFOs, fully finished objects. Let's move on to my whips, my works in progress. So, I've got 6 whips this week to share with you. So, some have more progress than others, but let's just get into it. So, the first one I'm going to share is the Slumber Party Sal from Sewing Starfish that I've been working on. The frame was fully out, and that's what I was working on. And then the first 2 motifs came out on this past Friday. So I started working on one of the motifs. I don't have it completed yet, but I didn't have as much stitchy time this weekend as I thought I was going to. So yeah, I didn't get that motif done yet, but it only came out on Friday, so I'm not worried. But this week, or this 2 weeks, I added in 1,521 stitches, and I am 52.1% completed with just the frame, so that's not including the motifs. But you saw where I was last time, and here is where I am now. So I guess I can just show you what's in the nerd shoop right now. But last time I think I was still working on this part, so I fully finished this except for the color that goes in the black section here. And you can see I started with the purple up here and the lighter purple on the side. And then these are the words here that will be slumber. So that's coming soon, but started the words, and yeah, I'm happy with my progress on the frame. I'm happy to be 50% done with the frame before the rest of it even starts, and because I have the whole frame outlined, I'll be able to just continue on with the motifs. So this is the first motif, and the first one was an invitation to the slumber party. So this is the actual invitation, but then underneath of it there will be an envelope, so it's like this invitation coming out of an envelope. So I have to add in the envelope. And then the second motif is super cute. I'm excited to stitch that one. It is 2 cute white bunny slippers to use at the slumber party. So hopefully the next time you see me, I'll have the bunny slippers completed as well as the rest of the invitation envelope. So also you can see I finally taped this up because it was just fraying like crazy, and I don't really have another way to serge my fabric, so I'm using tape for this one. But I have plenty of margin, so I'm not worried about if I have to cut it out. It'll be fine because I've got plenty of room. So yeah, so that's Slumber Party Sal from Sewing Starfish. Again, we're only on the first 2 motifs, so if you want to join in, there's still plenty of time. And I'm excited for all the cute motifs that are to come. I'm really happy with the first 2, so we'll see what the rest bring. But that is Slumber Party. Okay, next up is Woodland Enchantress. This is my Dimensions kit that I've been working on. Here is what she's going to look like eventually. So pretty. And I was talking last time about my rotation. I'm doing sort of a 5-4-3 rotation this month. Woodland Enchantress is my 3, so I've put in 3 days for her for the month of April. And I did complete 2 more days, which was the total of 3 days. So she's done for the month, so she probably won't come back out this month, and we'll see what happens next month. But in those 2 days, I added 866 stitches. Granted, they were all half stitches because I'm still in the background, but that puts me at 18.7% complete, which I'm really happy with. So you saw where it was last time, and now you can see this second big tree here is really coming together. So I did a lot of the darker blue in this side here, and then there was a blended blue color that I started filling in the tree as well. But I'm really happy with this. Again, this tree looks beautiful in the background. This one looks beautiful in the background. And now that I can see this coming together, it's even more exciting. So still in the background of this piece, but I'm really happy that I added this to the rotation this month to get a little bit more progress and to get going. So you can see that the tree, so this is where I am now, obviously in this section here, and that is a big section of background. But if you look, that's probably the biggest section of background. I mean, yes, I have a little bit here and I'll have this side, but I'm really getting close to starting on her and her dress, and that's kind of the fun part to me. So just got to get through the rest of this tree here and then get started on the rest of her. But that is Woodland Enchantress, and I'm really happy with it, how it's coming along. So I definitely enjoy it, for sure. Okay, next up is my Mirabilia, Lily of the Woods. This is what I'm doing with Yoshi for the first Mira Sal, because it's my first Mira that I started and that really I've been like keeping up with good progress on. This time she is my 5-day rotation this month. So I only added one more day and I've still got 2 more days on her to go. So since you've seen her, it was just one day. I added 460 stitches. That put me at roughly 43.3%. And I do still have a hanging thread here, so I'm sorry. I guess I thought I would get back to it more than I was, but here is Lily of the Woods. So this time I added more of these like blue colors here. So there's a darker blue and then this lighter blue here in the draping fabric. And what I'm working on now, clearly, is this blended color that will go in between there. So yeah, 400 stitches. Doesn't look like too much progress, but I did get a lot of the fabric done here. That's what my goal is to work on next, to get more progress on that. So still really loving her, and I'm happy I have 2 more days on her slotted for the rest of this week in April. So I'm happy she's coming back out, and she'll definitely be out for Mirabilia May, which I'll talk about a little bit in plans. I don't have anything set in stone, but yeah, I'll tell you what I'm thinking for that. So yeah, this is Lily of the Woods by Mirabilia. All right, next up is my Pixel Dragon Adventure Sal by FlossyFox Shop. This is my daily thread piece that I try to do during the weekdays. My first stitch of the day is this piece. And I only got 605 stitches in the past 2 weeks, which is not much, but there were a couple of days where I just didn't get to it to start. I don't know, I didn't have as much stitching time, and so I wasn't able to really put in the daily thread that I thought. But total, so the whole project is out now, and so I finally have everything in my Markup RXP app, so I can see how far along I am total, and I'm at 53.8% after those 600 stitches. So I'm stitching this for the Year of the Dragon Sal by Erica, Fibers and Floss Canada, and Samantha the Higa Stitcher. And I also just wanted to say a huge thank you to both of them, because they're doing a monthly video this year for the Year of the Dragon Sal that they're hosting, and this time they highlighted people's projects that they're working on, and it was so much fun to see all the different dragon patterns. You would not believe how many dragon patterns there are, different ones that people are working on, and they're all so cool. But they did take some time to highlight this piece of mine, and they were so kind with what they were saying, so I just wanted to say thank you to them. But if you haven't checked out that video, I think it's on Erica Fibers and Floss Canada. I think it's on her channel that they posted this time, but it's a really great recap of a bunch of dragon patterns, and yeah, just a lot of fun. So go check that out for sure. So here's where I am on my piece. Last time you saw me, I finished part 3, which was the end of this dragon here. So, and I talked a little bit about it last time, but I told you there was a little rat and some cheese. Maybe it's a mouse, but it looks like a rat. And that is what I definitely wanted to stitch. So I was so happy to get this little guy in and his little cheese that they're sharing, which I love. And then I just sort of ran with some of the colors. So I added some of the yellows and oranges in this next big long sea dragon that will be down here. And I had some extra from outlining the cheese, so I did a little bit of the pink outlines for this cute little fish that's coming. So I'm really happy with this. This is 28 count green apple. and it's a printed fabric, and I'm stitching this 1/1. So that's why everything's really tiny. But yeah, I love it. I'm still happy I got some progress, even though it wasn't as much as some weeks. But yeah, hope they'll keep coming out, and hopefully I'll finish this by the end of this lunar year. All right, next up is Saga by Long Dog Samplers. And this was my leap day start, as you probably know. This is what it looks like in the end. And I am up here in this corner, and I've just started kind of stitching. I got the whole way across the top, so now I'm just kind of working my way back through on this top set of arches here. And here is where I'm at so far. So last time you saw it, I had these two cute speckled hens in, and I told you the little story, which that was fun. So then the next time I just moved over to this motif and started stitching this. And this was the Tale of Two Hives, I think it was called. Basically, there was a hive with two queen bees, and this queen bee decided there can't be two queens in one hive, so I've got to go look for a new hive. So she went out on her own to kind of look for a new hive, and then these are her two options that she's looking at here, which I thought was a fun little story, again, with this arch. And yeah, this one had a lot more backstitching. As you can see in the queen bee, there's some backstitching, and then even these little bees here, basically were all backstitching. So that was kind of fun and something different to kind of spice it up. Even with these flowers, there was some backstitching in the stems that I did there. But this time I added 1,141 stitches. So I did complete my goals for the 2 weeks, and I'm at 4.9% on this project. So this is just such a pleasure to stitch, and I love seeing the progress come together, because I am able to go pretty quickly with this because it's only one color and I'm not changing all the time, and I'm using one strand of Silks for You PR 207, I believe it is, and so everything just goes so smoothly. So I really enjoy the day that I get to pull this out. Usually it's on Thursdays, and just get some progress in it. And I realized that these arches are much smaller than the ones that are at the bottom of the pattern, so they're going a lot faster, but it's really satisfying to get these little motifs in and to get some progress that you can actually see. So that's been a lot of fun to kind of complete these arches. And since each one is a little different, you're not really repeating yourself that often. But yeah, I'm happy with my progress. That is Saga, Long Dog Samplers. Sorry, I feel a little scatterbrained today. I hope I'm sounding okay. Okay, so then I've only got one more whip for you. And this one is my second whip go call for April. This is the Beyonce piece I'm working on from Tilton Crafts. I think it's called Beyonce Grammys 2017, maybe. And my goal for whip go for the month that I talked about was 3,000 stitches. That's a lot for this piece, and I'm happy to say that I don't have it completed yet, but I added 1,491 stitches. So total, I'm at 2.3% on the project. So far in April, that puts me at 2,739. That's pretty good. So I only have a little under 300 stitches to go on this piece, which I think I can get by giving it one more day. And I have one more day slotted for it for this month. So maybe I'll actually complete that goal, and then I'll have both of my whip goes complete. So last time you saw this, it kind of looked like just a big orange blob. And it still kind of looks like a big orange blob. However, you can see her hand is starting to come together. So in the center of the piece, her hand is sort of right here coming up, and that is what's going on here. And actually this part here is her neckline, and she's wearing sort of a necklace, and the lighter colors here, that's part of the necklace coming up there for her neck. So she is starting to take some shape, which I love. And once I saw the hand start coming together, I had to just keep going with that. So I was just picking colors in the hand to sort of finish out these little blocks here, and then just running with it wherever it took me. I think I like cross country for these full coverage pieces. Also, I realized I started in the center, so it's much more confetti heavy than if I'd started in one of the corners. But yeah, cross country kind of just works for my brain, and I'm able to just take one color and run with it till the thread is gone and then pick a new color. So it allowed me to not only see progress, like I can actually see the hand appearing here, but also not get bogged down in the confetti of it all. So yeah, and I'm also really happy. I know it's been a slog trying to get 3,000 this month, but I am kind of happy that I put that as my goal, because now when I pick up this piece, I have a good start on it. And since I'm able to see some shapes and things taking place, it's easier to work on. I don't know if that makes sense, but because I'm seeing some shapes and I'm seeing her kind of take form, I think it's going to be easier to pick it back up and not get so bogged down in the confetti, like I said. So yeah, so I'm really happy with this. It's tough, and it's tough stitching on black, but I like it. There's something about this piece that I do really enjoy. I think maybe because it's a lot of the same color, and yet the blending and the shading all really works. That, yeah, I'm not sure, but this is what I've got so far. She's got a hand. So that is my last whip. And yeah, I think this might be a shorter video because I don't have too much else to go over. So as far as plans go, I am trying out a 5-4-3 type of rotation. And again, like I said, this month 5 was for Lilly, 4 was for SAGA, and 3 was for Woodland. So I've got one more day to go on SAGA. That'll be this Thursday. And I've got 2 more to go on Lilly, and Woodland is already complete. So I am going to try that same rotation again next month in May. I don't have exactly the projects picked out that I'm going to do for the 5-4-3, sort of hinging on what my Mirabilia May plans are. I'm not sure. I definitely will be pulling out Lilly throughout the month and at some point. I'd like to touch well, I only have 2 mirrors started, but I'd like to also touch the Kiss that I haven't really pulled out in a while. So I'd like to do that in May for at least a day to get some progress on that. And I'm thinking about maybe starting a new Mira in May just to kind of go along with what everybody else is doing. And I've got one kind of picked out, but I'm not quite ready to share it yet. I'm still thinking about the fabric choices and to make sure that that's the one I do want to start. But that might be coming in May. I've also got a start, which I can now announce because Kat announced it on her channel, Katkin and Lilly. We are starting Gaia the Earth Goddess, which I've showed on here a couple of times. Actually, hold on one second. Let me see if I can grab it. Okay, sorry about that. We are starting Gaia the Earth Goddess for Kat's birthday from Katkin and Lilly. And I think so far it's myself, Kat, Leah from Leah's Cross Stitch Corner, and Emma Bobbins we're all starting this on May 2nd. So if you have this pattern, if you want to join in and stitch a little bit on it for Kat's birthday, join in on May 2nd. And I'm really excited for this start. I've had this for a while, and Kat and I have been sort of talking about when should we start it? What are you thinking for it? What fabric are you choosing? And we've both kind of gone back and forth a lot of times, but I'm really, really excited to get this one going. This is my first Bella Filipina chart that I'll be stitching. I have a couple other ones, but this is the first one I'll be stitching. And yeah, I've got my fabric ready, which I'm really excited about. I think I showed it was like the 2-tone. I've got the bead pack, which, sorry about the crinkle, but look at all these pretty beads. That's going to be so fun to put these in. And yeah, I'm just really excited about that start. So that'll be on May 2nd. And I'm kind of thinking that Gaia might be my 5 for my 5-4-3 rotation because I want to give her a good start as well. I don't just want to start her on the 2nd and then not get any more progress. So she might actually be my 5, which I know she's not a Mira, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be Mira May. I will be stitching on Miras, but that's what I'm thinking. Also, I will have Whip Go for May, which we don't know what the numbers are yet, and so I'm a little apprehensive to say any set plans until I know those, because I've got some doozies on my board of like how many stitches that I'll have to complete. So I really just want to see what WhipGo is calling for me for the month before I set everything else in motion, because I might need to offer one of the 4 or 3 day rotations to a WhipGo piece. But for April WhipGo, I'm completed on the Santa, and I'm so close to completing the Beyonce numbers, so I think I'll be able to get that completed. And then we'll see about May. We'll see where it takes me. I've also got another start that I might be doing in May, which that would be 3 starts in May, which is kind of crazy because I'm not close to finishing anything else now that I had those 2 finishes. But like I said earlier, this is probably the year of starts for me, since it's kind of my first full year of cross stitch, and I'm still just enjoying everything so much. But yeah, that would be 3 starts for May. So stay tuned if I do that. If I do that, it'll be at the end of the month, and it is a piece that someone else has shared that I might just join in. Anyway, yeah. So those are kind of tentative plans, and next time next time it'll be like the middle of May almost when I see you, the beginning of May. And so I'll have things more set in stone, and you'll get to see kind of what my WhipGo calls are, all of that, but I don't have any of that yet. So as far as haul goes, I actually don't have a lot this time. So if you don't like haul, this is a good video for you, because that's all I got. And yeah, I think that's all I have this time. So thanks so much for joining me. Again, thanks so much for all of you who have been subscribing and welcoming me into this community. I really appreciate it. Keep running if you're a runner, and always keep stitching. And be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.